Today on DC News Now, heat and humidity remain in the DMV, tracking relief on the way to end your week. New details as crews work to remove this tree limb that killed a woman.
Just to know that one of these old trees could do this is kind of scary.
The first Purple Line light rail vehicles unveiled today. Sneak peek of the major milestone. The Wizards gear up for the Summer League in Vegas. Hear from players ahead of their first matchup in Sin City.
What is the emergency?
And crime solutions are our top priority in Maryland.
Stating problems are easy. Coming up with solutions are very difficult.
We go one-on-one with the Prince George's police chief.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the News at Noon. I'm Mark Hall. New at noon, we now know the name of the woman killed at a Southeast park after a tree fell on her Wednesday morning. 35-year-old Sarah Noah of Washington, D.C. Leaders are calling for extra safety measures. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sisay spoke to neighbors about what they want to see get done.
Flowers now sit where a tree once stood that hit and killed 35-year-old Sarah Noah. Now, the tragic incident definitely raised a lot of concerns for not only neighbors, but also leaders. And now they want every tree inspected here at Garfield Park. An unfortunate incident now has many calling for change. On Tuesday morning, DC Fire and EMS reported to Garfield Park for a medical crisis. 35-year-old Sarah Noah was at the park with her husband and her dog when a large tree fell on her, killing her. A witness says many people, including her husband, ran to try to help, but it was too late. DDOT says the tree was in good condition based on a 2022 inspection, but now neighbors and leaders want a new inspection for all the trees at the park.
I think that these old trees should be inspected pretty well.
In a statement on X, Ward 6 Council member Charles Allen says, "I've spoken with first responders, ANC, DPR, and DDOT leaders. I also asked DDOT to conduct a review and assessment of all our trees in Garfield Park." And officials with DDOT says they plan to do just that.
In most instances, we're performing a level 2 visual assessment. That means we're looking at the tree from all sides, a 360-degree evaluation from the ground, from what we can see with our eyes, and then we may occasionally use tools like sounding mallets to assess for decay and other defects that are within our reach.
Officials say they're still trying to find the reason why the branch fell off the tree. It's all part of the investigation. For now, reporting in Southeast DC, I'm Jean-Marie Sisay, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Jean-Marie. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us with the latest check on the forecast. David, how are things looking?
Mark, I am so happy because we are finally getting some relief out there, my friend. What a stifling several days it has been across the DMV, but finally Mother Nature is giving us a break. Check out the temperatures. We are still going to be a little bit warm, but nothing too out of the ordinary for this time of year. It's up to 88 already in the district and over into parts of southern Maryland, including Waldorf. But as you go west, look at these cooler temperatures. 81 in Winchester, 79 in Martinsburg. It is that much cooler because there's some cloud cover hanging on to the north and west. But even though the upper 80s, this is the first day in a while that we have not already climbed into the 90s by the lunch hour. There's that temperature change again. Not much of one, about 5 degrees or so cooler to the east, closer to DC, but for some of our northwestern locations, much cooler than yesterday by about 10 to 15 degrees. And oh, by the way, the humidity has dropped significantly, so it is extremely comfortable. It's going to stay that way as we see a few clouds passing through. Temperatures will try to bump back up everywhere to the upper 80s, lower 90s, but again, with much lower humidity, heat index is not a factor. We no longer have heat advisories in effect. Some very good news. Now, just how long is this break going to last? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Maryland transportation officials gave riders a first look at what Metro cars on the all-new Purple Line would look like. Officials say that the 142-foot-long train can provide service to more than 400 riders at a time. They also emphasize some of the vehicle's accessibility features, and project leaders say the unveiling is a key step towards getting trains moving on track.
This year, we will complete the test track right outside here on Veterans Parkway, and then we'll begin dynamic testing with the train. So today you see them sort of static here, but later this year, early next year, you'll start to see the trains testing on the test track.
Looking good. The Purple Line is expected to open in late 2027. Developing now, Prince George's County Police investigating after 2 men were shot in the Fort Washington neighborhood. It happened on Potomac Heights Drive around 7:30 last night. Police say that both men are expected to recover. Also developing now, a fire broke out at a Prince George's County apartment last night on Caisson Way in Landover. Fire crews responded to the scene around 10 p.m. They found the fire on the 2nd floor of the building. There were no injuries reported. Maryland State Police say they assisted Pennsylvania state troopers in rescuing 2 boys from a hot car after a chase. Troopers say a helicopter crew stationed in Allegheny County, that's near Pittsburgh, located the abandoned suspect vehicle near the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. They found the three three-year-olds inside the car. Pennsylvania State Police are continuing the investigation. And developing now, Greenbelt police are looking for 2 suspects accused of robbing a man at gunpoint in Maryland. They said that it happened last year near Spring Hill Terrace and Spring Hill Drive before 10. And police say the thieves stole the victim's money after showing up to purchase an item posted online. Well, if you're meeting someone after buying or selling online, here's some safety tips from local police. You're encouraged to meet in public places like police stations for the transactions. And they also say, when doing that, bring someone with you and do it during the day. Officials also say to avoid carrying large amounts of cash and sharing personal information. Well, today is day 3, the third and final day of the NATO Summit Conference here in the district, and we have an update on the road closures happening today. Closures west of the White House are now lifted, except for 15th Street at Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest and Connecticut Avenue between 15th and 17th Avenues. Now, closures remain in place through Friday around the Washington Convention Center. President Biden opened day 2 of the NATO summit with an urgent message for the military alliance to grow faster. That comes as the number of members spending at least 2% of their GDP on defense has more than doubled. But the president says that threats from Russia, China, Iran, North Korea are still prevalent and that NATO members need to do more.
I'm sure NATO will always be ready for whatever threats we will face. We cannot allow the alliance to fall behind.
During the summit, NATO allies are looking for ways to boost support for Ukraine in its war with Russia. Leaders say that once the war ends, Ukraine can join the alliance. Meantime, Ukraine's president says the world is watching the U.S. presidential election with anticipation as Republican support for aiding Ukraine is wavering. Well, movie star George Clooney adding to growing calls for President Biden to drop out of the presidential race. And he's proposing a local leader fills in to replace him. In an opinion piece for the New York Times, Clooney said that he loves Biden but believes Democrats will lose the election if he stays in the race. As for a potential replacement, Clooney mentioned Maryland Governor Wes Moore as a possible new nominee. The statement comes weeks after Clooney headlined a fundraiser for President Biden. That event brought in a record single-night haul for his re-election campaign. Meanwhile, more congressional Democrats are now calling on President Biden to end his campaign. Last night, Vermont Senator Peter Welch became the first Senate Democrat to publicly urge the president to drop out of the race. National correspondent Jesse Tenor takes a closer look.
President Biden and his campaign are now working more intently to make the case that his record matters more than his age.
4 more years!
Union leaders gave President Joe Biden a warm welcome Wednesday, showing their continued support for his re-election bid.
You've always had our back. We have your back.
The president insists this kind of support from a key voter bloc is what's keeping him in the race.
A whole range of things we're going to get done with your help in the second term.
But doubt is growing among congressional Democrats that a second Biden-Harris term is attainable. On Wednesday, Vermont Senator Peter Welch became the first Senate Democrat to call on the president to drop out of the race. and at least 9 House Democrats are now following suit.
It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run.
On MSNBC, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi notably did not declare President Biden should continue his campaign.
We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
The Democratic National Convention is next month, when the party officially nominates its candidate for president. Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski committed to supporting President Biden if he's the nominee.
We need to be focusing on Donald Trump.
Senior Biden campaign officials will be meeting with Senate Democrats later today. President Biden won't be there, but he will be at the NATO summit here in D.C., where he's expected to give his first solo press conference since the debate. In Washington, I'm Jessie Tenor.
It's Free Slurpee Day. Convenience chain 7-Eleven celebrated its 97th birthday by giving away a free small Slurpee to all customers today. They celebrate Free Slurpee Day every year on July 11th. Of course, the free Slurpees are available at participating 7-Elevens, Speedway, and Stripes stores. No purchase is necessary.